I'm Barbie Timor. I'm here to give you a little story of one of the miracles God has done in my life and the life of my family. We got married in 2012 and we've been trying for a baby since then, and it has been quite difficult when you keep trying for something and you're not getting it. This has been a very difficult, long and daunting journey when you don't know if it's going to happen or when it's going to happen. We even got to a stage that we gave up because we even went through having circles of IVF, which was unsuccessful. At a particular time, the doctors in the hospital advised us if we would seek surrogacy or also try other options. So we got to a stage that we had nowhere to turn to except to God. The church started a new theme where we had to pray, which is called the 35 days prayer of agreement, to pray and to cry unto God about things we wanted him to answer. My prayer partner was the pastor's wife, Pastor Taya. For the 35 days of agreement, we prayed. My prayer request was for God to answer me and give me the fruit of the womb. And we prayed this prayer every single day of the 35 days of agreement. Trying to have a baby or conceiving for some other people might seem very trivial, but when it comes to a stage when you try this and it hasn't happened, it becomes a really big deal. And people that have been in this situation will be able to relate to this. It's such a very difficult experience to keep trying, especially if you are newly married and everybody is expecting a baby, including yourself and your spouse, and this is not happening. It becomes a very, very traumatic experience for yourself, for the family and everyone around you. 2 months after the 35 days prayer of agreement, I missed my period, and it wasn't something exciting for me because sometimes I did miss it and it didn't mean anything. But eventually I ended up doing a pregnancy test, which I had done several times in my life, and I had gotten to a stage that there was no point even doing it because it was always negative. But this time the pregnancy test was positive. I was so happy about this and knew that this could only be God. I am so grateful to God for what he has done for me. And as a medical doctor, there are things that you would be told in hospital or you would see in paper, which is black and white, that if you've been told or a report has been given to you and said this can happen, that is it. But at this point, mine doesn't add up. And this is what we call a miracle, because it just doesn't add up. On paper, it wasn't meant to happen. With all the medical reports, it wasn't meant to happen. But God saw us, saw our hearts, saw our prayer, and he answered, and it did happen. So at this point, I want to encourage people who are in this same position, or people who have other issues they're praying about God. I have learned a lot from this experience, and what I have learned from this experience tells me that no matter how impossible a situation is, God can make it happen. Never give up. Keep praying and trusting in God, and hold on to him really tight and keep reminding him about his promises, and it would happen.